Let's play some more Planet Crafters. So, where were we at? My drones are doing a thing. Oh, it's getting the toxic water. I was like, where is it going? Why is it doing things? But yeah, it's purifying that water. So we cleared out this area pretty completely last time. I guess I should stay high. We might want to keep an eye out for, like, aluminum, as we currently do not have any, and I don't think I can build a mining machine yet. Can I? Let me double check. Yeah. So we need more pressure, is the answer. Can I build that one? No. So we might want to just go nuts and make a bunch of drills at some point, and see what I can do with that. So, I guess I'm going to clean up a little here. The problem... Oh. Okay, no, that was worth it. These are giving... Some of these, at least, are giving me aluminum and super alloy. So, yeah. We definitely want to recycle this place. I should have parked the car nearby, shouldn't I? Yeah. Well, it's okay. Yeah, we want to look around for salvage, because an amount of it, yeah, is giving me titanium and super alloy, which we want large quantities of, and are going to need. Let's see, don't know if there's... I think we pretty much salvaged everything in here. I'm still going to double check, just because, but... I think there was stuff up here that I haven't grabbed. Admittedly, it's more cobalt, which I think we actually have an overabundance of, which is annoying. Okay. Everything else good? And then we have this whole area back here, but unless... I mean, there might be a crate back here. I'll go check. There's one. Might be another. Nope, not there. And we should keep grabbing pristine mushrooms as we go by, because a lot of recipes require them. And let's just head on back. Is this another one? Or is this... Oh gosh, it's another one. I mean, if I wanted to be really silly, here's what I can do. We have enough resources to get into... Like, make a tiny living compartment with storage. This is very silly, but yeah, I might as well just have a bunch of these feeder bases around. Eventually, I'll probably use my... Well, I should be using my car for this more than anything else. But at the very least, I can kind of set these up. And... kind of drop things off at them, so my bots can come grab them. Let's see, wonder what are your favorite games of 2025? Yeah, that's one of the projects I've kind of... Well, I was kind of working on prior to this. Let's see. So I actually have a list. I can take you guys... I think this video is going to go out a little after 2026 starts, but... I actually make lists of stuff like this. Let me see if I can pull this up. For videos that I might make someday at some point. So I have a list of 54 games that I probably need to add a couple more to from 2025. Technically, Talented is on the list just because the last time I put together one of these lists was before Talented had come out. But I mean, it should be a lot of the usual suspects if you've been following the channel, things that I really, really enjoyed. I forgot that Look Outside came out back in March. Holy shit. Time flies in a bad way. I thought that was a more fall game, but I guess they had a big update recently, and that's probably why it's confusing me. I want to talk about my, like, absolute favorites. Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion I really, really love. Dolog Town I love, but it's not done yet, so it's kind of hard to judge. Monster Train 2 was incredible. Like, way better than Monster Train 1, which is impressive, because I loved Monster Train 1. Abiotic Factor, I had a very, very good time with my friends playing that. King is Watching, I will go back to probably for years to come. Endless Legend, I'm waiting for it to get a couple more updates. Most of it was good. Some of it was rough. I liked Digimon Storytime Stranger. I thought that was very good. Ball Pit, obviously. Ball Pit's incredible. And then, I haven't featured it much just because it didn't do too hot on YouTube, but Anodart Layer Null was extremely, extremely good. And then there's other ones like Last Caretaker and Fellowship that I enjoyed thoroughly, but they still need some time in the oven, so I don't know if I'd count them exactly. Okay. I guess let's grab the rocket engine. I think the rest of this stuff will get picked up slowly. But the rest of that I can just leave there for now. I saw the planet in the background and I thought that was a black hole and it scared me for a moment. In like one of those like, oh, that's really cool, but also holy shit, that's scary way. That is a really eerie look. I love it. I think this is a just generic dust storm going on. Okay, do we have anything else up here? I'm mostly looking for weird, rare resources that I can't find or get otherwise. There's another chest. And that's part of it. Chests, at this point, give me insanely good value add. So we're trying to find as many of those as we possibly can. And the wreckage, though it seems like the wreckage is mostly just giving me regular resources at the moment. Alright, so unless there's more, I don't think there's too much to add. I really want to be able to fix this monorail. Because I know I can ride it to some degree. But just not this direction. I loved Abiotic Factor when I got to play it earlier this year. Yeah, it's extremely good. It's like one of the main full series that we did this year on, I guess back when I was still streaming on YouTube. Actually, let's take that iron. Let's keep that with us. Let's keep making more of these. What is this one? More toxins, if I can rename that thing. I don't think we have anything on this one. So let's do T2 rocket engines. This is so disorganized, but that's fine. Yeah, Sunday group playthrough was neat. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to the further updates it's getting. Personally, I hope they actually don't do too many expansions. I kind of hope they just go all in on a sequel, because I think that would be very fun. Let's just have all the quartz up in here. Okay. Feeling a little bit better. Can I make another one of these? Yeah. Probably have this be mutagen. Unless, are we storing mutagen somewhere else? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so let's get one that's just a catch-all for mutagens. Eventually we'll sort them out, but right now we don't have a consistent source of mutagens, nor a consistent storage for them, so we might as well just have this for the time being. Perfect. Would Abiotic 2 benefit from more antiverses? Ooh. I think for me, what I would like the antiverses to be is actually like more meaningful to the point where I'd want to build bases or resource structures there. I guess as silly as it sounds, I kind of would love to see... I would love to see Abiotic take a little bit more of like a meaningful base building flair to it, if that makes sense. So Abiotic Factor 1. There's a bunch of stuff I should probably bring in and sort somehow. So Abiotic Factor 1, one of its big benefits, at least in my mind, we really, really need iron. Oh, where's my microplastics? Because we could probably condense some of this down a little bit, just by converting it into polymer plastic. Unless I can make that automatically. Oh, I can. That's extremely convenient. Okay, so Abiotic Factor, it's like... The main thing that it did particularly well that I loved was the fact that every time you built a base, it kind of felt like it had meaning. There were a lot of these like fun, cozy spaces and whatnot that you could delve into. And I thought that was like an overall really good idea and fun to play around with. You didn't do much to actually impact the world, though. Like, you could put up some ramps, you could build some barricades. I want to be able to, like, actually modify the world of Abiotic Factor in some meaningful fashion. It doesn't have to be huge, just, like, a little bit here and there to specifically be like, okay, oh, what's a good example of this? Well, I don't know, like, piping power across the across the facility. So how did we generate power? Oh, we just plugged things in. I think it would be interesting if you couldn't just plug things into the nearest outlet, like your power infrastructure is broken, so you actually have to like rebuild conduit through and maybe some conveyor belts and like little convenient features, like literally a dumping ground where you can specifically put resources into like a chute and it would reappear back in your base slowly but surely. Stuff like that I think would be really good. I don't necessarily know, like, yeah, we were maxed on iridium. I guess we should make some rods. Like, I don't actually know how necessary all of this would be, but I feel like it would slowly make the game feel a little bit more, like, meaningful and lived in. Let's see. Okay, there. We can drop everything off. That means the car is completely empty now. Yes? Yes. Perfect. And so, while I wanted to mess around with some more antiverses, I'd actually prefer it if it was one of those situations where the antiverses were leaking more into reality, or the reality was kind of spanning across all of them. And you had reasons to kind of... Oh, should I have grabbed some food? I should. We should not be doing this on an empty inventory. I will starve. There we go. I'll just grab some of the high quality food, bring that with me. Because water I can drink kind of on site if I'm lucky, and not really. No, I should probably keep a bottle of water on me. Probably 2? Yeah, 2. So the problem I had with a lot of the antiverses was that they were siloed away. You went through a portal, you got to an antiverse, and that was it. You didn't really, like, go back and forth unless you needed a specific resource there. Which is fine, but I found it to be a little unsatisfying after a while, purely from the perspective of... They were kind of like little micro-dungeons, but very few of them actually felt like good dungeon crawls. I think the area to the right is probably toxic, so I should go check it out. Or not. Is this pure? Okay. I guess maybe what I should do is make a couple of these. Looks like we have... Okay, not pure. There is toxic here. Toxin here. Also gold? Also gold. Yeah, might as well grab the pristine mushroom. I'm not seeing any goop, though. Unless it's on top of this weird hairy tree. So... we might just have to purify the water, and that's the upper limit on this. Oh. This is different. Yeah, like a Venn diagram of dimensions? Yeah, kind of, sort of. That what I want to be able to do is actually build, like, stable portals that my teammates and I actively are, like, going in and out of, and even potentially, like, pumping conveyor belts in and out of. Uh-oh. I don't know what happens when my toxicity caps out. Looks like it's just really bad for my health. Okay. Just eat some animal food. Like a weird barbarian man. Okay, so I don't actually know where toxins are in that. But it might actually be over here. Like, this is probably all just the same general region of gunk, except for there's no visible gunk here. Huh, that looks like hands. Oh, here it is. So, abiotic satisfactory. Kind of. Like, it doesn't need to be like the big mining things a little bit. I just want to be able to affect the world in a larger, greater sense. And it feels like Abiotic Factor is probably one of the better examples of game where you could do that and it would feel good. Too many games when you are, like, exploring them or playing them in any way, shape, or form, If you are affecting them in some way, it's minor. I would actually say this is a good example of this. Here we have these like empty bases, these places that you can explore, you can grab resources from, but you can't do anything to them. They're just there. And that feels unsatisfying on a like player perspective, from a player perspective, even though it's very fun, you know, running around and exploring this game, just because we have this whole facility here. What is this facility for? We have no idea. It's, you know, was maybe part of the mining facility, maybe it was like fuel, maybe it was water purification, stuff like that. But at no point in this can I specifically go into this facility and fix it. I can't fix that monorail segment that's broken. That's beyond my capability, beyond the game's functionality. What I want to be able to do is actually to be able to go in and mess with that monorail, to rebuild the rail system and use that monorail instead of just drones for like higher output cleaning purposes, if that makes sense. So, or maybe not cleaning purposes, resource transportation, power, any number of things. Because like it would be really satisfying having that monorail going and, you know, even connecting to this station. So rather than driving the car over here, I can just have the monorail. And maybe it's even one of those that the monorail will, you know, it has like a chest in it or multiple chests, or I could build more chests in it even. And whenever the chests are full, it quickly, you know, zooms back to base, deposits it in like a big warehousey thing that, you know, stores my resources for my drones to move around. And that kind of rinses and repeats until I've like cleared the area out. Reclamation over lore then. Yeah, kind of. That for me, I just want to be able to feel like I've done something to the world. That I've left my mark on a video game, not kind of by littering it with micro bases, but like actually done meaningful things to it in the space that was provided. And like it doesn't have to be much, but the more that could happen, the more it would feel satisfying. I always go back to Death Stranding for this. If we want to go back to that like early stream where I was talking about this issue, about how take these back. Do I have some silicon? No, I only need like 8 piece though. I'm gonna make a base outside of this one. We're just gonna dump things off in it. Because there's a lot of resources here and it'll be easier than having to just rely on my car. Right. It helps if I actually put a door on this thing. Do I seriously not have any more titanium? Did I put it all away? Did they already take it? I don't know. It's fine. We have more. Death Stranding, the thing that I really loved about that game was the fact that you really were leaving a mark. If you walked a path a bunch of times, you would leave a trail. If you... let's see. If you built a highway, that highway really did change how you interacted with the world and the game as a result. And so, for me, that sort of gameplay style is deeply satisfying, I suppose. Where I love being able to see a world, traverse it, yes, but do things in it as though I'm an active participant as opposed to kind of a weird tourist. Because too many games just have you on that kind of weird tourist angle in a way that I find unsatisfying. It's a good example of this. I don't know, I want to say like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. That, especially Tears of the Kingdom, you can mess around with these like gadgets and stuff. And you can make some signs, but that's it. I was kind of hoping it would be one of those where like, no, you legitimately had to build a bridge. And like prior to building said bridge, you just can't cross this ravine. It's either in your way and you have to go around it, or straight up you don't have access to the other side. And so it's kind of up to you to source the materials to build that bridge. Now, obviously that's an artificial roadblock that just requires you to grind for resources to be able to rebuild said bridge. But there's still kind of that feeling of like, but if I build that bridge, that's my bridge. I did that. And every time you cross that bridge, there's kind of that feeling of like, I made this. Especially if you build it block by block, as opposed to just depositing the resources to go into it. I think this is part of the reason why people love Minecraft so much, and Satisfactory and whatnot, is because you are given a sandbox to actually play in, and at no point does the sandbox say no. You can't really do that. I mean, a little bit. Yeah, so the opposite of Stanley Parable. Maybe. Actually, I haven't played Stanley Parable yet. It's one of those games on my to-do list that I've been meaning to get to. Just busy. Oh, that's a hell of a lot of goop in there. We've got a lot left. What I should probably do is use some of these materials to actually... Well, I guess you know what I could do. I could maybe request the requisite materials? No. No, because I wouldn't be able to get it from my box. I should see if I can make teleporters at this point. That actually might be handy. But like, this whole thing seems like a giant hydro plant that potentially could generate a lot of power. I would love it if I actually had to like go through the whole thing piece by piece and figure out like what it's missing, where the damaged parts are, replace whole sectors if needed, get this going, and then all of a sudden it's like a huge power booster for the world I'm on. Just so it doesn't feel like I'm wandering around the wreckage of society, looting it for all it's worth, and then like ignoring it completely. Trying to think of other games like this. Oh, Fallout 4. I had this problem real bad playing Fallout 4. I don't know if it's like a hot take, but I'm actually like a big fan of Fallout 4. I thought it was legitimately kind of good. I think it had issues. I think the game could have been substantially better, but it had parts of it that I thought were extremely cool. Drink some water. And that the only thing Bethesda really screwed up with Fallout 4 was the fact that its story sucked. Did it suck? I thought it was just okay. I think the problem is New Vegas just knocked it out of the park, and anything else that tries to compete with it is just kind of in trouble. Okay, let's keep that iron. Yeah, I sent my plastics back like a fool. Take the iron with me. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to go find more iron. Fallout 4, I think I found you around the time because your Never Leave Sanctuary challenge thing. Yeah, and like, I really liked that. That was fun. Because it was finally a sandbox within the Fallout universe that I felt like I could play in. Everything else is kind of a guided tour, but the like town building aspects to Fallout 4 actually felt like I was playing the game. I think New Vegas worked in kind of a similar way. Yeah, this is like a giant algae farm that I really wish I could clear this stuff out of. But even in Fallout 4, as much as I liked it and want to talk about like how good it kind of was, I don't feel like it went far enough. Like, you could build these tiny little towns, which is fun, but you had these like really interesting set pieces and locations that would have been really cool if you could spend more time and like meaningfully doing things with them, if that makes sense. So like, what's a good example? Oh, admittedly, this is in New Vegas, so it doesn't quite count in the same way. But in New Vegas, there's this whole area that, I think, was it? Yeah, it was New Vegas, where it was like a bunch of solar panels pointed at a tower, and you could use it to charge like a gun. And the gun would, I mean, it was effectively just a giant space laser, which is, you know, fun. It's a neat little weapon to have. But so much of me was slightly frustrated by the idea of like, I think you could use it to reroute power to the rest of the wasteland, but it never really mattered. It didn't make like a huge impact on the game. And some part of me was really hoping that it would be one of those that, no, it would Well, actually, no, we want all of this stuff in the car, because I don't think I can bring it back with me. Same thing with, let's grab, well, do we grab the purified water? No, we can leave that behind. Fertilizer, leave the microplastics. I think the rest of this stuff will get sorted eventually. But it would have been really cool to have kind of the similar, a similar quest power relay situation in Fallout 4, where it's like, hey, you know, 2 towns over, there's this massive solar field that's been kind of left to rots. If you go over there and fix it, we can route that power into town for you. Yeah, question, can I actually build a teleporter here at this point? We have the technology. Yeah, let's make it happen. Because that's going to make some parts of this much easier. There's the box. See it sitting in the ground. I have the inventory space. I can grab it. It's actually like half the stuff that I need for the teleporter. Cool. But you know, similarly, what's another good example? I know there's like another one. Well, another good example of this would actually be the end of Fallout 3, where you straight up are like providing purified water to the entire eastern seaboard. Kind of. It's one of those where like that's what you're supposedly doing, you just kind of don't. Because like I think it gets brought up in the story of Fallout 4. Because I think Fallout 4 was set after Fallout 3, but it's kind of like after the fact, and it kind of felt like you didn't do anything. And like, it would be really cool if, you know, you're playing one of these games and it's like, hey, we have this purified water problem. You have this whole like quest line where you have to potentially, I don't know, deal with... Oh, do we want to actually set this up upstairs? Let's do that first. We need more storage up there. It'd be neat if you're like having this purified water problem, and so you're drinking like rad water out of toilets forever and none of the sinks work. But you can potentially, let's have this one be fertilizer, I think. But you can actually purify the water, get the whole water system working again, and all of a sudden, yeah, you can drink from any tap in the area, or maybe not any tap, but like a lot of them. There we go. We'll have to sort these later once I have a little bit more inventory space. Unfortunately, do not have enough inventory space. What do we want to do with this one? Probably more plants. And what I could do is probably build a bunch of vegetubes. Because this is actually like a lot of good stuff. Okay, other things we can look into. Could make a T2 machine optimizer. Yeah, let's get some of these going, at the very least. And so, that's the kind of thing that I'm hoping for in like a Planet Crafter 2 or an Abiotic Factor 2, or really kind of any of these games. Ooh. Switch you to iridium rods for the moment. Apparently we've maxed out on plastic polymer. Oh boy. Yep. Guess what I should probably do? Let's drop these off. Could I empty one of these out? Maybe. Because if I can empty this out entirely, we can potentially start replacing it with bigger lockers. Because at this point, I actually do have enough super alloy. Let's at least do it for our dump chest, and then we'll work our way up. Where did I put my circuit storage? Oh, gosh. We'll store this around. What about Fallout gameplay, but set in Bioshock? Yeah, I mean, that would be... God, that would be amazing. Like, I like Bioshock as a linear shooter, but it does feel like it... I think the thing I would say is I wish Bioshock was more of an immersive sim. That... It has elements of that, but you're never really allowed to explore. You have kind of a couple of places you can go, and that's what you're stuck with. Okay, right. I need another circuit. I can keep them tight together. Move these over. Ooh, I should shred this jetpack. Both of them, in fact. Because yeah, we assuredly do not need them. Okay. Supply everything. Alright, next up, jetpack. Really? That's all they give you? Rocket engines and a titanium? Damn. I overestimated how valuable jetpacks are. Okay, so my dump chests have gotten a little bit bigger. Do we leave that as is? I think we leave that as is for the moment. Let's grab 2 of these and go find a pristine mushroom. Actually, do we want to do a couple of these? I think so. Pristine mushroom. Let's do 3. My microplastics. There they are. There we go. And the other thing, oh, the other thing. Do we want to get that teleporter down? Do I have super alloy rods? I should have a supply of them somewhere. I just... Super alloy rods. Okay. Osmium. I think I put my obsidian upstairs, which might actually be my main limitation. I think I have storage for zeolite. Or if I do, it's like down here. Zeolite, there it is. Okay, 1. I guess we're going to need 2 of these. Eat a squash. Let's go back out here. Alright, let's see. Where did I put my teleporter? I think, actually, we're going to tear this up. My titanium. There it is. Let's put another room. Oh, or let's get that aluminum. Yeah, let's get the stairs up. Oh, aluminum, another titanium. Thought I'd grab 2. Guess not. Let's see. Rotate it. Perfect. I don't actually know if this is the best placement, to be honest. It's now slightly in my way. Okay, let's grab some more titanium. Nope, magnesium. Where's my silicon? Silicon's here. Perfect. I think if I were to do anything, I guess what I could do is extend the base back by 1. Okay, at least I can put some things here, including the teleporter, which is kind of what I was hoping to do. Okay, so teleporter needs pulsar quartz and obsidian. Pulsar quartz should be down here, yeah. And frustratingly, obsidian is upstairs. I might actually have to rethink this. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, switching genres, are you excited for Slay the Spire 2? Kind of. So, the answer is I'm not actually hugely excited for Slay the Spire 2 because I'm more excited for Slay the Spire Downfall, the board game. Playing Slay the Spire is fun. I enjoy it. It's a good roguelike deck builder. Unfortunately, I've kind of burnt out on Slay the Spire as a roguelike deck builder, put 100 episodes into it. That was kind of my upper limit. Oh, I can't build these. Damn it. All right. But yeah, kind of capped out on Slay the Spire, the board game, or not the board game, the digital game, just because I put so many hours into it. You know, there's still fun stuff to do, mods and whatnot. Are we out of power? Are we possibly out of power? I think I have to make one of these. I'll just jam it in the back. Not enough power. We are out of power. I guess actually the fusion generator isn't generating that much power. Okay, we can make another. I should have the resources, just barely. Just barely, in fact. Let's move it over here. A smidge. Opposite side, give myself a little bit of space. Grab another one. Okay. Gonna kind of want to do the same thing with the drone platform, but maybe not. But yeah, what was I gonna say for Slay the Spire? I don't know. I think it's a great game. I enjoy it thoroughly, but playing the board game with Shell is so fun. Farthome. Okay. Now what are we doing? I guess we're dropping off all the osmium rods and the energy multipliers. I am gonna need osmium. Just not those. Because I think we're gonna set up a teleporter at the other base. Okay, so I want the super alloy rod. Oh, we actually don't have enough pulsar quartz to build another teleporter. Well, I guess we're hoofing it. It's okay, it's not that far away. Let's see. But yeah, so anyway, playing Slay the Spire, the board game with Shell, is a ton of fun. And it's to the point where, like, I actually really want to play Downfall with her rather than Slay the Spire 2. Because Slay the Spire 2, I'm going to have to play alone. It's fine. Like, I very much am looking forward to Slay the Spire 2, especially if we get Slay the Spire 2 the board game and it's somewhat compatible with Slay the Spire 1, because that would be even more fun. And I don't know, like, I very much could see Slay the Spire spiraling out of control as like a kind of one of those games that just kind of keeps getting bigger and bigger. Same thing with Monster Train and whatnot. Honestly, I think Monster Train maybe is part of the reason why I'm not, like, amazingly excited for Slay the Spire 2. Or maybe I am. I don't know. It's one of those that, like, Monster Train 2 did it perfectly where, like, midway through the game it's just like, hey, by the way, you also just get to play with all of the old factions too. And having that happen was so cool. Oh, right. I should actually set this up. I don't know if these are completely different water sources. They're different puddles, yeah, but I guess we'll have to find out. Read that as fart home. Yep. I know what I'm doing. Alright, we're just gonna have these three here going, supplying a bunch of toxic water. That should make life easy. Let's go back in this one. Imagine if they add Downfall into 2 as a new Game Plus thing. I would love that. I legitimately hope that's the case. The Downfall developers, they went on to make like an actually really good auto battler roguelike. I just don't think it sold particularly well. At least not enough to keep them around as a studio, but I could be wrong. They might actually be working on another thing and I just haven't seen it. Let's see. We got everything there. I think so. I don't see any other big interior areas for me to explore. Now this might be one of those that we actually do go into. Hard to say. It looks like that's a location to go into, but maybe I'm wrong. What was I gonna talk about? Oh, right. Just really enjoying their game, their prior game, thinking it was extremely cool, hoping that they somehow get like a nod or were hired by Mega Crit in some capacity. It would be really neat if they were like, hey, paid expansion for Slay the Spire 2, let's go. Or, yeah, it's just cooked into the game right there. This facility was actually kind of a letdown. I was expecting more of it. I guess we do have that other area over there that I should go check out, too. There may also just be things that I'm missing, but I have no way of checking. I did put my floating base box kind of in an inconvenient spot. You know, I think the other reason why, I don't think this is fair to Slay the Spire, necessarily. But another reason why, specifically, I don't want to say I'm not looking forward to it, is back when I covered Slay the Spire originally, people kind of beat it into me to not enjoy it, that I wasn't actually playing it correctly. And so it was like a lot of, you know, whining about backseating and whatnot. Or, not whining about backseating, whining about misplays and whatnot. And so, I think I still have that kind of baseline psychological, like, to Slay the Spire specifically. Same thing as, oh boy. I don't like the water on this planet. Same thing as Undermine, where the audience for that game had been so mean that I'm just like, I don't know. Fun to play around with like other new things if I can. Sometimes. Okay, drop this off. I wonder, picked up Sephiria yesterday after your video. It's been a lot of fun. Love how they made weapon evolutions. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more of that. I actually recorded another video yesterday morning, but it won't be going out on YouTube for at least a couple of days because holidays and I'm busy, and I also need to draw thumbnails for every single Sephiria video, and that slows me down a little bit. But yeah, that is a roguelike that I want to put some more time into for sure. Okay, so looking at this, we've got a couple of caves. We've got a big thing back here that probably leads to another zone. Sulfur mine, some other things. I think what we do is actually we stay right here. I think we might want to auto-craft an amount of this stuff. Yeah, see, like, look at this thing. It looks like you should be able to interact with it. I think we want to go back to the base and just turn on super alloy crafting. At this point. Oh, but we have no aluminum. Okay, let's take every bit of iron, 2 titanium, and a silicon with me. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, cool. Reason for this is I'm going to be taking the monorail through. Oh, open storage crate. Oh, it disappears at a certain level of purification. Can I not take this places? Oh, I see. I can't take it places because I need to purify more of the environment. Well, I guess we're hoofing it. Because I'm just going to go to the other side of this, set up a little feeder base with a bunch of lockers. Work our way through. Or not, actually. Okay, so we need more purification to be able to get through that barrier. Good to know. Yeah, let's just grab this mushroom, recycle what I can, go from there. I hope the ponies come to Monster Train 2, as they were extremely funny and powerful. I really liked that. Like, I'm not... How do I qualify this? I didn't hate watching My Little Pony when I was in college. It was kind of one of those comfort food shows, and I knew exactly why it took off. Especially amongst the single male crowd for the most part, which might seem like weird and wild to other people, but like, I don't know, I got it. It was pretty good. I did not watch more than whatever the like weird patchwork dragon was. Like, I think I got to the point where they beat him and I'm like, okay, that's good enough for me. I don't need to see more of this. Yeah, let's switch this to super alloy because I think we need to get rid of some of these things. Problem is aluminum. We do not have that much of. But I need super alloy in large quantities. So, next up, I guess the best thing I could do is make a bunch of these. So we're looking for purification capsules. We have 6 of them. You know, that's actually pretty good. Grab 4 of these, and then 5 mushrooms. Yeah, let's just go purify the heck out of the air, I suppose. Okay, 7 PU per second. That's very funny. Okay. So we're actually very close to being able to boost this. We just need a little bit more. Now we do actually have, I believe... No, maybe we don't have a purification fuse. I thought I saw one go by, but no, we just have fuse cartridges and some other things. Well, still, that should speed up our purification dramatically. Let's see. Do we want to just make a couple more of them? I suppose so. I still have 3 more mushrooms, so it's mostly we just need purification capsules. We just full up on super alloy already? Nope, my drones are just must be busy. Okay, so I'm gonna need plastic polymer. We are going to need 6 more. 1 for each. And then 3 for each. So that's 1, 2. So we need 3 more. Next Terraria update's releasing in the next month or so. What? Another? I mean, at this point it's become kind of a meme on Terraria getting updates when it ought to have just ended. Oh, who knows? Maybe the Sunday crew will finally give it a shot. Okay, that's going a fair bit faster. Yeah, toxic... Oh. Toxic goo storage. Large toxic goo container to help cleaning the toxic goo areas. That's going to be extremely helpful. I wonder if there's like a map or a satellite I get at some point that lets me figure out which of these have been purified. Speaking of... Actually, let's check the purification process down here. I guess thinking about, like, looking forward to things. The other problem I have with looking forward to stuff is that I'm so inundated with games that I'm already looking forward to, or I was looking forward to, that it's a little harder for me to be super stoked for new games, if that makes sense. Like, Part of the reason why I wanted to even start Wander VODs as a channel was we could make the quartz crafting station? What? I thought it was going to take me like ages to get the requisite resources for that. Or terraforming tier. I'll just stick it under the stairs. Well, we do actually have the materials for it. We do have the T4 jetpack. But yeah, we do actually have the correct quartz. 1, 2, 3. And 3 circuits. Yeah, real lucky that I just randomly found that. That's a big backpack. Oh, that's a big backpack in such a good way. There isn't a definitive date for release yet, but trying to get out ASAP. Yeah, there's a lot of games like that, which, I mean, is valid. This is another reason why I have a little trouble looking forward to things, is because, like, yeah, I don't think I've even played their last update. And then, yeah, we were talking about the Grim Dawn update. Just a lot of other things. So much. Always. Okay, we done making purification capsules? No, we can actually just keep making more of these. If we had the requisite resources. I think the problem is purified water, if I had to guess. Nope, we're actually good on purified water. Plastic polymer, pristine mushrooms. Oh, it's chlorine dioxide. That's the thing we're low on. Oh, because we haven't been grabbing those big mushrooms. Hopefully I can make like an atmosphere condenser. Oh, maybe I can make an atmosphere condenser. Because the problem with the random mushrooms is mostly just kind of an inconvenience. Let's see if I can make one. Gas extractor. 2 super alloys. Iridium rod down here. Zeolite. And a circuit. There they are. Keep just zooming straight past it. But yeah, it was starting to become uncomfortable, I think, for me. The idea of, like, here's all these games that you can play, like, an hour of. Really? Yeah, you can play an hour of this, but then, you know, trying to finish it is going to be legitimately difficult. Because you just don't have enough time, and there's no place for it on, like, YouTube at the moment. And so, boy, I'm going to be trying to finish all the games that I actually want to play. You know, of this original, like, thing here, I'm just going to bring this back. How many of these games have I actually finished? Moonlighter, kind of. Shell Diver, kind of. Fellowship, we're far enough along. Ball Pit, we've finished. Time Stranger, I'm halfway through on. Finished Unfair Flips, but that would be difficult not to. Aethermancer, we're more or less done. I've finished Endless Legend a couple times, but not on YouTube. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, I've gotten a decently far enough away in to say, like, yeah, I'm done with it. I haven't finished any of those. Wouldn't take too long to finish Hurdling or Sword of the Sea. Abiotic Factor, I'm done with. King is Watching, I'm done with. Drill Core, I could keep going with, but also say I'm done with. Monster Train, kind of similarly, though I think there might be an ending that I haven't gotten yet. So, yeah, I guess looking at this, of all of the games, there are a decent number that I have finished, but there's a lot that I still haven't. You know, I'd love to see the end of Look Outside. Dolok Town, but it's early access. Pipistrello is, like, really fun. I haven't done a video on it yet. Same thing with Nightling. Well, I did a video on Nightling, but it was very fun. And so, yeah, it's, like, actually kind of frustrating, being in a situation where it's just like, are you looking forward to things? I'm like, I'm looking forward to having the free time to go back and finish some of these. Life. Okay. I think we lose our mind. Let's grab some food. Let's grab some water. Let's hop back in the car. Let things run for a little while. I think we might have hit the purification level. And if we haven't, we can leave that for later. I think I want to go look for some gap in the environment. Because it looks like there might be a hole back behind this thing that I haven't actually checked out yet. Plus, who knows, always finding more blue chests is just a genuinely good thing. Okay, while we're here, quick question. Is this water? Yes. Okay, so we are extracting that water. So I guess it is all part of the same water body. I'm gonna park my car here because I can't proceed any further anyway. Yeah, are there any blue chests or other goodies hanging out here? Is this still part of the same body of water being extracted? Yes. That's what I like to see. Because, yeah, that means each region has kind of toxic water that needs to be purified, but it's not like I don't have to purify every single individual body of water, as that would be a lot slower and harder and kind of annoying. Keep expecting these to do something special. They don't. I mean, they have some sulfur. Assume Shell loved blueprints. She did. So the problem Shell had with blueprints mostly boiled down to it's the game that does not end. So she's like very actively trying to finish and beat it to completion. And yeah, she's stuck in RNG hell. She needs like a couple of things to finish it, as there are a couple remaining like secrets and puzzles that she hasn't fully like gone through, and they require specific. Oh, this is all like flowery actually. That's kind of neat looking. They require very specific like rooms to show up at very specific times, and possibly in conjunction with other rooms, and getting the game to actually wrangle itself in that shape is purportedly a nightmare. And I do not envy her playing that. At first I did. Like, we both played it together. I was playing until we got to the final room. And then got to that point and said, I think I'm done. I don't have enough time to play more of this, and I think I'm going to get frustrated if I keep going. And so Shell's like, I want to see the end of this. I'm going to keep going. So she gets it on the PlayStation, starts playing it, keeps going, and has continued to keep going for the last, like, 4 months. Playing it off and on. Yeah. I think it took her, like, 5 to 10 hours to get to the final room the first time, and then 50 hours to get to this point. And, I don't know. Yeah, because every run is an hour, that just slows everything down and makes it just that much slower feeling, I guess. Still a great game. Like, I think neither of us have had anything terribly bad to say about like the core concept of it. Just the fact that it's extremely hostile game design for finishing quickly. Yeah, it sounds like a quintessential love-hate relationship game. Yeah. It's me with gosh, Binding of Isaac. You know, I think actually Binding of Isaac is a good example of this. Where, like, if you want to max the whole dang thing out, it's just hours and hours of play. Might be fun, might be good, you might love it, but by the end of it, you're definitely going to be tired of it. I think I was talking to Penta about this. And he was very much talking about never wanting to max out Binding of Isaac ever again. And I cannot blame him. Oh, we need more of these storage lockers. They're so good. We actually do have a lot of super alloys, so I probably could. How are we doing on our purification? Because I want to take that monorail. Okay, we're at 90. Perfect. So let's figure out the new chip for goo cleaning. Should be over here. So I need a tungsten, I have one by sheer luck. Oh, need a purification capsule. Might as well actually grab all the purification capsules. And that should be good enough. I'm so glad that you can just craft those from your inventory now. You used to not be able to, and that was kind of suck. Okay, so I have 4, 8, 11. So I guess I should put 2 of these back. So that's 9. So I'm going to need 6 of these. Oh, but I need pristine mushrooms. That's not enough air purification. Or for the air purifiers I want to make, but that's okay. We're just going to make what I can. I think my thing is with blueprints, if it had had a greater sense of meta progression, the game would have felt incredible. You know, more ways of like messing with your, more ways of messing with like the tile pool, or let's just eat dog food. More dog food to eat in blueprints. Yeah, that would help. Yeah, more ways to mess around with the like tile pool, and more ways to like cull tiles or link them together, increase the rarity of certain ones, or even just being able to modify them. Like one of the things I loved about that game was the if you haven't played it, Blueprints is a kind of interesting take on, oh, you know what? We can just build it wherever we go. It's an interesting take on puzzle game. Oh, I can hop out of a moving tram. That's spooky. Interesting take on like mansion building, where effectively you have these individual rooms. Can I actually tell it to stop? I cannot. It seems like there's actually toxic goop in here that I should clean. Maybe. Maybe. But you're building it tile by tile. Every single room is... each tile is an individual room. Each individual room has kind of like an interesting feature. Some give you resources. Some have greater puzzles in them. Some are stores. Some are whatever. And your entire goal is to kind of link all of them together to get to the final room, which I think was room 46? 45 or 46. It was one or the other. And the problem with that is that, like, some puzzles require you to link together rooms, like, several rooms in sequence with each other in such a way that, like, they... Okay, there we go. This has been... Wow, this whole train got absolutely demolished. I should have maybe checked to see if I had the resources to build a teleporter in retrospect. Because I think this definitely precipitates the need for one. But yeah, if you get unlucky, or if you like don't quite know what you're doing, you can potentially spend hours trying to find the exact correct tile combination that you need to make meaningful progress on like whatever puzzle you're currently trying to solve. And while that is kind of really compelling on a gameplay perspective, after X number of hours, especially when you've like kind of hit that doldrums where nothing is going on and you've been stuck for a while, you do kind of hit that stage where it's just like, oh god, you know, why is RNG like this? I just want to make a fraction... Oh... Where's the ladder? Here it is. I think, yeah. We're gonna go back up. I'll have to make another base down there, because I have no way of storing all this stuff. There is this in here. I can dump some things in here. See, do I have enough microplastic? I do not. Damn. I was actually kind of hoping I'd have enough microplastic that I could very quickly put a water purifier down, maybe. I think there's a room that you can mix 2 other rooms in, like garden and hallway. Maybe? I don't know. I haven't played nearly as much Blueprints as Shell, so I can't comment on all of these things. But listening to her complain about blueprints and kind of passively absorbing it from the distance of a couple feet away while she's playing with headphones on, actually made me want to make my own variant of blueprints as a tabletop RPG where the players can say, hey, this room sucks, we don't want to see it ever again. And I, the DM, can be like, sure, that's fine. And I just like nuke it from the, nuke it from the pool or change it to be good. Or, kind of tweak things in players' favor. So it's like, oh, they absolutely need this one tile to progress. Hey, by sheer chance, that's the tile you rolled up. Convenient for you. Stuff like that. Let's see. So that actually might be something that I will be streaming and recording in the next, like, X number of weeks, I'm hoping. I've got, like, I think I've got 21 tiles done so far, which is... Oops. Shouldn't be doing that. We should build this base. I don't have enough space. This is a problem. Wait, here's a question. Damn it. Okay, let's just eat some space food. We're gonna shuffle some things around. Is there anything else in here that I could use? No. We do have another one of those Terra tokens. Move that one over. I have 2 inventory slots, which should be just enough. Take the remaining iron. Toss the toxic goo. This might hurt me. Nope, we're good. Please tell me I can build like a base compartment here. Gotta clean up the area before that. Rude. The problem is I don't actually know where it is. Where the remaining goop is. There's 15. Oh, shoot. If I could just go up here. Is this clear? Rude. Wait, it was. Some part of this is clear. This is. Is this a good spot for a base? No. But is it good enough for now? Yes. There's a solo TTRPG called 2D6 Dungeon that's entirely randomly generated. I think for me, I don't like procedural generation to that degree. Like, this is kind of an interesting conversation that comes up often of when designing a game, how much do you actually hand design as like a roguelike? And I've seen conversations back and forth about like, oh, is procedural generation in roguelikes the same as like generative AI? And the answer is no, they're actually wildly different. They use a lot of the same like fundamental ideas, but one of them is just compressing literally every bit of information known to man within a subset of topics, or just every topic forever. And then the other one is like, hey, I just made a bunch of these dungeon tiles and am picking from a pool, potentially crunching things together depending on how you're doing it. The thing is though, like, procedural generation in a video game can suck, like really bad actually. Oh, we should set this to give. Like, I can't tell you how many games that roguelikes I've played over the years where I loved it. I really wanted to love it more, but the procedural generation was so stanky that I could not possibly continue to enjoy whatever the game was. Because it was just like so dull and repetitive, or even just lifeless. That a lot of procedurally generated games are like heavily reliant on... let's grab another one of these. They're so heavily reliant on like kind of repetition and stitching pieces together that everything ends up feeling samey after a while. It's kind of like how... what's a good example of this? Binding of Isaac, their individual rooms are hand designed. I'm sure I talked about this, I think literally in a previous stream on this game, but hey. But the rooms in Binding of Isaac are all hand designed, but what's in them is random. And so there's kind of the feeling of you go into a room, it's a new little adventure of like, how do you solve it? And it changes from game to game, so it doesn't feel like it's the same thing over and over and over again. Which is good. I think that's good game design, and that's why Binding of Isaac is super compelling. Dead Cells, on the other hand, is kind of the reverse. That, ooh, you can actually build like a big locker in here. That Dead Cells is like dungeon design. It has some hand design elements of it, but a lot of it is just kind of like empty room bits that are being stitched together in weird ways to have like a coherent idea of a level, but not really like a meaningful one. There's no sense of exploration there. It's still good and fun for people that like really enjoy that combat and gameplay, but there's not really a feeling of like that human touch that I think makes Binding of Isaac feel that much more compelling. Okay, ooh. This just has a spare rover in it. I love this DLC. Because the previous DLCs have all been... Why is there just a box here? Also, yeah, this thing is totally static. But yeah, there's just a random storage crate jammed into the side of this rover. I was kind of hoping I could scrap the rover and use its bits, but alas. Grab that, take that back. We'll have to loot more of this place. But this DLC gives you a lot of really convenient things. I was kind of hoping that would be like an easy way to source a spare rover that I could rip apart and use for things, but alas. But so the problem with like a fully randomized dungeon as like a tabletop RPG is I feel like I'd be kind of detached from it. That I would just be rolling the dice, go through a room, kind of rinse, repeat forever, with no real semblance of like, I care about what's going on. Tabletop RPGs, I feel like they thrive better when you actually have, ooh, hold up. What do I need for a teleporter? Because I might be able to just source the materials for one. I need another pulsar quartz is the one trouble. I'm just going to put this here in the corner. This one's going to be my teleportation fund. So we also need the obsidian. Oh, there's the zeolite. So actually, yeah, all we need is one pulsar quartz, which we might have already had up in the train. I'll go grab the resources from it now that I'm safe to do so. Oh, there's the remaining toxic materials or goop for me to clean up.